everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Lumi Knits podcast. My name's Hayley and I'm coming to you from beautiful Ballarat in Victoria, Australia. I live and work on Wadawurrung land, and I extend my gratitude to the Wadawurrung people for their ongoing custodianship of this precious ancient land. I recognise their enduring connection to the land, skies and waterways that I'm privileged to share, and I would love to pay my respects to all Wadawurrung people and their elders, past, present and emerging. It's been a while since my last podcast, and I know that's probably what I say at the beginning of every podcast, but that's just the way it is. I don't follow a particular podcasting schedule. It's kind of catch as catch can here. But today's a beautiful day. I've got the day off. I'm not jammed up with jobs to do for a change, and I thought it would be great to stop in and catch up with everyone and say hi. You can find me on Instagram at lumi.knits. I have been pretty inactive on Instagram lately. I've taken a break from social media, which has been really refreshing and has sort of given me a bit more scope to do other things, which I've really enjoyed doing. But I might pop in here and there, who knows. You can also find me on Ravelry as Lumi Knits AU. And again, I'm pretty inactive on Ravelry. I try and keep my projects up to date, but I'm not very good at that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you can have a look if you want to, see what's there. I don't know. I've got a few finished objects to show you today. I've got some works in progress that I'd love to talk about, some acquisitions and some plans, and probably just a bit of chit chat really. I feel like today might be a longer podcast for me. I usually hit around the 25 minutes, but I think today could be longer. And that's just because I haven't been on for a while and I've got a lot to say. So I'm going to jump straight in. This hat that I'm wearing is one of my finished objects. It is the simple Brioche beanie by Helena Timms, and that's on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. If you're interested in knitting brioche, I would highly recommend it. It's a great pattern. This one is knit in leftover Great Ocean Road Woollen Mills, or GOR Woollen Mills, I think they're known as now. La Balla yarn, which is, I think it's alpaca. It may be an alpaca blend, I don't remember. But if you look it up, I'm sure you can find out any details you want to. I can't remember the needle size that I used. It would have been as per the pattern because I don't often gauge swatch, often to my own detriment. But I don't think I gauge swatched at all for this one, and I just used the recommended needle size and it came out perfectly. So I'm going to take it off. My hair is probably going to be frightful, but that's part of it. That's why I wear a hat. So this is it. It is a very simple brioche beanie with a folded brim. You just brioche, 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 and then I think there's maybe 3 or 4 decrease rounds, which I love because I don't enjoy decreasing. And it makes a very thick, very squishy, very beautiful beanie. And I love the stitch definition in this. It's just lovely. I'm filming on a new camera today. My phone camera is very bad and old, and we've just gotten this new action camera, and I thought I'd give it a go. So hopefully the sound's okay and the light's okay and you can see what I'm talking about. What more is there to say about this? I think I'd knit the largest size because I've got a big head, and I often find that beanies don't fit me properly. They fall off, they slip, and they just are too tight. So I did knit this largest size, and it's been just fantastic. I've worn it all winter. I think I finished it probably maybe in May, and I've been wearing it non-stop ever since. Also, because my hair is at this awkward length, and so it's great to be able to just cover it up with this cute hat. So that is the simple brioche beanie. I also made one of these for my dad, but it was not as successful as the first. And I'm quite unsure as to why that is. I think it could be the needle size and a different yarn. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was, but it's also not as good as this. So I'll show it to you anyway. So I just did it in stripes for something different. This is a Bendigo Woollen Mills brown yarn, and this is just a pure wool. I think it's Cleckheaton, just for the stripes that I picked up at my local yarn store. And it seems a bit gappier than my first one. So perhaps I should have gone down a needle size for this. It's still going to be warm and lovely for my dad, but something went really screwy in my beginning rows. I'm just going to find it. It looks even worse on camera than it does in real life. But if I tried to knit this flat and seam it, it would probably look disgusting. So it's not awful, and I don't think it would stop my dad from liking it. It's just a bit embarrassing, I suppose. This one you can't even tell where the start of row is, but I really don't know what happened here. I lost track. I did have to rip back a couple of times, and if you've knit brioche before, you'll know that ripping back brioche is no joke. So I don't know, I'll show you what it looks like on. Still very good, still very nice hat, and I guess like no one's really looking at the join, but you know, when you put this much work into something, you want it to be perfect, but it's not, and I don't think my dad will mind. I think he knows that I'm not a perfect person. So yeah, that's the two finished objects that I had for these beautiful simple brioche beanies by Helena Timms. I feel like I vagued out there for a second, so sorry about that. I do think the difference was probably the yarn, the needle size, and the just problem with the join. So it is what it is. Now I've got a couple of active whips that I want to show you, and I was hoping that I would have this finished. It's really deceptive because you feel like you look at it and you think, oh, that's definitely 20 minutes work tops, and then you sit down and work on it for 20 minutes and it still feels like you've got another 20 minutes to go. So I'll show it to you. This is the Crawford shawl. I've knit one of these before in a very different yarn, and I love it. It's this beautiful slip stitch mosaic pattern striped garter stitch shawl. Squishy, comfy, beautiful. I think it's got a really great effect. And this is how much I've got to go. I think there's about 30 live stitches on the needle, so really not long. If I measure it up against itself, where are we? I probably have about how much to go. It's ridiculously not much, but for some reason it's just going really, really slow. I've knit this in FibreSmith yarn, FibreSmith hand-dyed yarn, 4-ply merino. The sort of rusty mustardy colour is the colourway copper, and the light is flax, and this is just beautiful, this yarn. I picked this up at the She's Crafty Market in Castlemaine last year, or early this year, I can't remember when it was, and I've really enjoyed working with this yarn. It's really soft. I love the colours. My other Crawford shawl is in a much more rustic yarn in charcoal and white, and it really is a completely different garment to this one. I'm looking forward to having this finished. It would have been good if it was finished in time for winter so I could wear it, but I'm pretty sure I'll still get a bit of spring wear out of it. I'm really hoping to finish that probably this weekend, for reasons I will go into further on in the podcast. So that's one of my really active whips at the moment. I'm just going to pause there and grab my other one because it's on my desk on the other side of the room. So this is my other active whip, and it is the Harvest sock from the DK Sweater Weather Socks Toe Up collection by Carlie Perrins from Ravelry. And I am knitting this in the Knitting Man Recommends yarn, and the colourway is called What the Octopus Saw. It's on her fat Tootsie base, Tootsie. And I got this at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool show this year. And this is a birthday present for my husband. I'm making him a pair of socks, and it is coming up beautifully. The reason I chose this pattern for these socks was because the faux cables that are in there I thought would give like a seaweed vibe, and I'm just so happy with how they're coming up. But I'm at the heel, and this is my first time knitting a toe up sock, and I've pulled the heel out once already because I messed it up somehow. But now I'm going to have another try. Hopefully today I'll get the heel under control so I can keep knitting the foot. My husband's birthday's not till October, so I've got plenty of time. I just wanted to get in early on this because I tend to leave it till the last minute for gift knits and it always backfires on me. So that's what's happening there. I divided the skein, because I only bought one skein, I divided the skein into two 50-gram balls, thinking if you divide a fingering weight skein into two balls, you have plenty to do a sock. But I forgot that DK and fingering are very different. 100 grams of DK is very different to 100 grams of fingering. So I feel like I'm flying pretty close to the sun. I'm flying pretty close to the sun on this one. The foot is done. I have to do a contrast heel and then the leg, but this is all I've got. I think there's about maybe around 20 grams. So they're not going to be long socks, but I'm okay with that. I think they'll be fine. And if I'm worried about them being not very long socks, I can do a longer cuff. I'm just using this this yarn that I got from my local yarn store. It's a Sesia Dahu yarn, 50% wool, 25% alpaca, 25% nylon, in a sort of really beautiful teal colorway. That's pretty true to the color because the sun's just come through the window. And I'm holding that double because it says I can't even remember what it says, but if I hold it double, it's making a really nice thick toe. It'll make a nice thick heel and a cuff. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to hold this up again while the light's good so you can see. Aren't those colors stunning? I was so happy when I went to Bendigo and I looked at all the different vendors. There was a lot of DK sock yarn coming through. I love a DK sock, and just to have some interesting yarns to work with has been fantastic. So when I saw this colorway in Karen's stall, I was just beside myself because I love these colors. My husband loves these colors and I knew that would be perfect for him. So I'm going to keep chipping away on that. We are going on a bit of a road trip in a couple of weeks, and I obviously can't knit this in front of him, so I'd love to have it finished by then, but it might not happen. But even if it's not, I'll still be home in plenty of time to do this in secret and be able to give him a beautiful pair of socks for his birthday. So that's an active whip. I've got quite a few snoozers. I've got some whips that I've just put on the back burner for one reason or another. I'll quickly show you some of those because some of them I don't think you've seen before. So I am making a poncho for my daughter and it's coming out so cute. Just thick sort of candy colored stripes. I'm using some yarn that I had in my stash and I'm holding it double with some mohair that I got from Melbourne City Dye Works at their stall at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show in 2023. So it was one of those impulse buys. I've never purchased mini skeins before and I don't think I will again. And I've never purchased mohair before, but I saw the colors together and I was just smitten with it. And so I bought it with no plan, no idea of what I was going to knit with it. And anyway, it's turned out great because it's in this beautiful little poncho for my daughter. She's 6. She loves pink and pastels and fluff and unicorns. So I think she's going to really like this when it's finished. But it's as I said, it's on the back burner. It's a snoozer. She'll probably have it for next winter. So there's that one. I also still have my Alpine Bloom that I have been working on for probably a year. So the saga of the Alpine Bloom is I had to rip it out twice, I think. In the colour work I made mistakes or whatever. It's been a lot of ripping back. And then I finally finished the colour work and I followed the pattern to a T and I split the sleeves. And then I tried it on and it was way too small because a year ago I was a different shape to what I am now. So I ripped it out again back to the bottom of the colour work and I've picked up the stitches and I've done some increases and I'm hoping that it it will fit a little bit better now. All I need to do, this is all I need to do. I just need to put a longer cable on and try it on. But do you think that I can do that? Do you think I can overcome that hurdle? It's just a bridge too far on this one at the moment because it's been such a lot of, backwards steps, and I'm a little bit scared. So I'm thinking I might do a few more rows and then put it on the longer needles. But how worth it will it be when it's done? Because look at this. Oh, it looks really good on the camera. Oh, this is knit up in, let's see if I've got it written down. This is knit up in Merino Silk Yak in the colorway Burnished by Fluff and Nonsense. That's this rusty, orangey, mustardy, beautiful color. And the contrast color is a Daffodil Rhodes yarn in just their luxury sock base, but such great colors together. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to put it on the cables and see what I need to do, because it's beautiful. It really is. It's so soft. This Fluff and Nonsense yarn is gorgeous. It's lovely. You can see, I don't know if you can see the halo on it. It's a little bit fluffy. It's a little bit soft. Oh, it's not a little bit soft, it's very soft. This is going to be great when I get it done, but it's just taken up a lot of my heart to get it to this point, and I don't want to have to pull it out again, because I think I'll probably cry many tears if I do that. Well, maybe a couple, maybe not many. That's an exaggeration. So other than that, I think the only other whips I've got are just socks that I keep with me to knit around. They're nothing exciting. They're usually vanilla socks. I do have a pair of self-striping ones going on, and that was my first attempt at self-striping. So when they're finished, I'll show you those. But at the moment, it's just a vanilla sock, so I won't do that for now. I've also got a Simple Thing shawl by Melina Brell, sorry. I'm looking down here because my notes are on the tripod. So if I'm looking like this, that's because I'm checking my notes. And also giving you a great view of the, beautiful band on my beanie. So I am still knitting on that Simple Thing shawl, but I haven't picked it up in months. Partly because I've forgotten where I'm up to. It's not rocket science to work it out. I will work it out and I will finish it because it's really nice, but it's just not what I want to work on at the moment. So I've been really motivated lately to knit more. I haven't been knitting a whole lot over the last few months, but I've been motivated to knit more because this year I am going to have another go at the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. I did it in 2021. Yep, I did it in 2021 and completed the shawl. 2022 I started and I didn't like it and I ripped it out. 2023 I didn't even consider participating, and 2024 I decided that I was going to have another try. So I've always kind of tried to put together my own combinations of colors and stuff, and that's really not my strength. My strength does not lie in that. I know what I like, but I don't know how to choose things that are really complementary. It takes me a lot of goes to get it right. I think I bought 3 different contrast colors for that Alpine Bloom before I found the right one in my stash, and yeah, it's just not a strength of mine. So this year I've gone with a kit. I'm gonna grab them out. So this kit is from Circus Tonic, who's an Australian dyer. So Circus Tonic hand dyed, and I bought the kit with the yarn called Sundown and Golden Hour because I love sort of pinky purples and yellows together because they remind me of the sunrises, sunsets. And so this is the kit that I bought. I've got 2 skeins of each, and I feel like I am ready to go. So when that pattern comes out, I am getting straight onto it. That's why I'm trying to get through my whips and trying to get some things finished off and clear some needles so that when that Mystery Knit Along clue comes out, I can go for it. So I'm so happy with these colours. When I looked at Circus Tonic Handmade's kits for this, well, actually all kits, I just wasn't really struck by any of the kits. But then I was sort of scrolling through Circus Tonic's website and I saw these together and I just said yes. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting started on this one. I actually don't know what I hope for it, because you can never kind of pick what's going to happen in the mystery knit along. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's interesting. I love that there's only 2 colours. I'm not really a adventurous colour person. So I'm hoping that this is a little bit kind to me. Yeah, but that's for my mystery knit along, so I'm excited about that. So that's one of my plans. I'm just having a little look down here. I also saw a pattern that's come out called For Token by Two Worlds Together, so Two World Tog, for the hobby website, and it's this gorgeous little short scarf / shawl-y thing. I'm thinking it's like a kerchief sort of style with bobbles. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm going to put it in the notes. And I think that once I get my mystery knit along done, I want to start using some of my DK weight scraps, because I have a lot of them, to make some of those. I think they'd be great gifts. I think they'll be really cute to wear myself, because I love bubbles and I love like a thin sort of kerchiefy scarf. So yeah, I'm excited about that one as well. And I'm still planning on adding some length to my Soldotna, which is over there, so I'm not going to grab it. And I think that's about it in terms of my plans. My plans are really just to clear some whips so that I can make some space to do some other things. I've also been thinking about blogging, because as much as I enjoy doing the YouTube videos, I feel like blogging's probably more my speed. I like to write, I like to take photos. So I don't know, what do you think? Do people still read blogs? I know I do. I've got a few blogs that I really like. There's one knitting blog that I enjoy, Sonia Knits. I think she's based in Melbourne. And then there's just some other sort of random ones that I like. So I don't know. Would anyone be interested in a blog? It would probably be a lot more convenient for me, because, you know, filming, then uploading, planning, writing out the show notes, it's a lot. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you read a blog? Would you be interested? Would I be wasting my time? I don't know. So I wanted to quickly talk about my trip to Bendigo, to the Australian Sheep and Wool Show. It was a while ago. It was back in July. And I went with my mum. I took her as her Mother's Day gift, and we had a great day. I always really enjoy going up there because my mum's a crocheter, and so we go to the Bendigo Woollen Mills. She loves their cotton. She uses that a lot in her work, so we always go there first and then we go to the Sheep and Wool Show. And this year was amazing. I really enjoyed it. There was so much to see and do. I'm not going to, give you a blow-by-blow breakdown of it, because I think a million bloggers or podcasters have done that, and you don't really, that's probably not all that interesting. But I do want to go through some of the things that I purchased, because the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show is generally where I purchase my yarn for the year. I usually purchase a sweater's quantity worth, and then just a few little bits and pieces for projects that I've got in mind. So as I said before, I was super happy to see a lot of indie dyers are starting to do some DK weight sock yarn. I love knitting DK weight socks, but the yarn's been pretty limited in what's been available colour wise. It's generally been, if you were lucky, you could get a self-striping, but mostly just basic colours and big box sort of spotlighty sort of stuff. So I was very, very happy this year to come across a bunch of beautiful hand-dyed, interesting DK weight sock yarns. So I did get, not sure which is the best way to turn, if I should turn this way or that way. So I'll try it out, see what happens. I got this one, which is a bit of a departure. Well, is it though? From my normal colour palette. And I say that because of this vivid orange that's in there. If you had asked me a year ago, there is no way I would have said that I would choose this. But then if you turn it up the other way, you can see that there's the yellows and the pinks that I love, and it just so happens that it bleeds into this orange, and I thought this was just stunning. So this is from Great Southern Yarn. On my camera it's showing me back to front, so I don't know if you're going to get it the right way around or not, but if you get it the wrong way around, it's Great Southern Yarn, which is an Australian dyer. The colour is called Leish's Experiment number 2, Black Sheep, and this is 80% SRS Australian Merino, 20% nylon. It's non-mulesed and non-superwash. So I'm really looking forward to knitting myself, I'm pretty sure these will be for myself, knitting myself a pair of comfy, cozy DK weight socks in this. And I'm super glad that I chose this colour unintentionally because it matches a contrast colour that I bought. So just rewinding before I purchased that, I'm not going in chronological order. A while ago, I bought some self-striping yarn from Half Baked Hand Dyed, and that's this one. But I also bought another skein, and I had a lot of trouble choosing a contrast colour for the heels, cuffs and toes. So I thought I would go and see Danny when she was at the Australian Sheep and Wool show and get her advice on matching a yarn for that. So I went and saw her and we chatted and we looked at different DK weight yarns, and we just couldn't find the right match that I was happy with. Danny had some great suggestions, but it just didn't work. And then I can't remember who had the brilliant idea, but instead of getting a DK weight, why not get a fingering weight and hold it double? And we chose this color. So this color is our very own. It's a superwash merino nylon, and it's a 4-ply. And I think this is going to be a beautiful contrast color for this self-striping. But then I got it home and I was putting all my acquisitions together, and I thought, isn't this going to be a stunning contrast color for this one as well? So I was absolutely thrilled. As I said before, I am not good at matching colors. I need help, but this one was a happy accident. So we're really looking forward to making those socks somewhere down the road. I think they may even jump the self-striping queue. So stay tuned for that one. The other one that I bought was the Octopus's Garden that I showed earlier on for my husband's socks, which I love, from Karen at the Knitting Man Recommends. Her yarns are gorgeous, and if I had unlimited funds, I would have bought much, much more, but I'm trying to be really mindful in my purchasing, so I just got the one, but I can guarantee that next year I will probably get a few extra because I really like her colorways. I love her bases, they're just beautiful. Next up I've got my sweater quantity. Now this is not exciting. Word of warning, it is not exciting. It is a sweater quantity of grey yarn, but it is beautiful grey yarn. This is by Pirate Pearl Yarns. It's their base called Fathom. It's a DK weight or 8-ply merino alpaca, and it's in colorway Steel River. So I bought 7 skeins of this, and I am going to knit myself a jumper. I am not 100% sure what jumper that will be. I did think about doing another shimo because the first shimo that I knit is in a merino, and it's just a little bit too defined. Like it doesn't feel rustic enough for the pattern for me, and there's a few mistakes in there that I've just found to be completely unforgivable. So I would love to do another shimo because I really love that. So that is likely what I'll make out of this sweaters quantity yarn, unless something else comes up. I am loving cables at the moment, so I may do a cable sweater. But really, really happy with this purchase. I looked at pretty much every stall trying to find a sweaters quantity of the yarn that I wanted, and the closest I came, I went to Tandy, and Tandy had the exact color that I wanted, but they didn't have enough. and I didn't want to stuff around with postage or anything like that. So they suggested that I go and check out Pirate Pearl, and I'd actually been there and seen this already, and it was sort of top of the list in my mind if I didn't find anything else. So I was super happy when I went back and they had enough of this colorway for me to get a sweater's quantity. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting started on a jumper at some point. Probably not for a little while. I've got socks to do first. So there's that. I'm just going to check and see. Yes. Okay. And the last acquisition that I have was a gift from my mum and dad. They gave me some of this beautiful sort of speckly variegated yarn for my birthday. So I've got 2 skeins of fingering weight. It is Pattern Isle Artistry, and yeah, it's a fingering, 80% merino, 80% nylon, and I don't know what to make with it. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Yeah, not sure. This one's been sitting there. I've been thinking about it, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with that yet. The other thing that I've got, and I'm just going to sneak into a drawer here, is I have a sweater's quantity of this Bendigo Woollen Mills yarn that I knit my Felix sweater in and then subsequently frogged because it just didn't fit right. I finished it and everything. I even had the buttons on, and then I just couldn't cope with it. It didn't fit. I didn't like it. So I pulled the whole thing out. So I've got a sweater's quantity of this yarn, and it's a big sweater's quantity too. I think it's in a, let me check. I think it's a bulky weight. But then when I look at it, maybe it's not. Maybe like a 12 ply. I don't know what that's called. It'd be between, yeah, probably be a 12 and a 14 ply in Australia. So Aran, perhaps. And I don't know what to make with this. I would like to get something on the needles because I really love the colour. I was thinking a vest, perhaps the Hoki Locatelli Emery vest. But I would really like to use it all up in one project rather than, you know, a vest here and a scarf there and mitts here and there. It'd be good if I had one project that I could use this yarn on, because I think it's one of their rustic ones, and I really love this yarn, and I've used it before and just adored it. But yeah, I don't know what to do. So any ideas, let me know. I'm asking a lot of you today, so feel free, let me know what you think. And I think that's it for today. I thought it was going to go way longer for some reason. Well, I've run out. Thanks for staying with me. Really would love to hear anything you have to say on any of those questions I asked, or even if you just want to pop in and say hi and let me know what you're up to, that would be great too. Thanks so much for watching, sitting through another probably strange train of thought, not a chain of thought. But wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope to hear from you soon. See ya.